I know when I did this ride with those three guys, when we got off of this road onto the way back, there were some really tight switchbacks, and I was really not doing good. And we were connected by Cardo headsets we were wearing, and they were talking to me, and they asked me if I knew how to trail brake, or maybe they told me I needed to learn how to trail brake, because I was really doing poorly, and I wouldn't do any better today, I don't think. Maybe a little better, but I just, the leaning and the speed is something where I get nervous. I'm not really nervous, I'm just not good. Put it that way, it's that I'm just lacking the skill. And a little nervous. They were watching, I was in front, kind of feeling like the wink leak, because I was. Love that great line from that comedian on Johnny Carson when they had Bob Hope. Who else was there? Dean Martin. Was it Frank Sinatra? Was that the other guy that was out there? And they bring out that guy Goebel, or I think George Goebel or something. And he had gotten bumped when these guys showed up. And he opens, you can see the clip on YouTube, he opens up with, they brought him out late, and he was like, Johnny, if you hadn't have brought me out, your show would have been nothing tonight. And he had this great line of, do you ever get the feeling that the world is a black tuxedo and you are a pair of brown shoes? That was a fabulous line to recognize what had happened.
Did you ever get the feeling? Did you ever get the feeling that the world was a tuxedo and you were a pair of brown shoes?
And hilarious. And that's how I felt on that motorcycle ride. They were black tuxedos and I was the brown parachute. Nice little town here. The Riverside District. So I guess there's a river somewhere here. College Street. This is the traffic I was talking about. My recollection is from here on up, there's a good amount of stop and go like this through these small towns. Which is interesting because I was rereading all the screenshots I shared when people told me about this route. And some people had different ideas about where to enter it. But no one really mentioned this part, like going 35, 30 miles an hour with multiple stoplights. Turner Ashby High School. Now, I might be wrong, but I think Turner Ashby served under John Mosby in the 43rd Partisan Rangers. I'm going to have to look that up to make sure I'm right. Turner Ashby. Ashby would have been a cool first name for a kid. Ashby, maybe. Turner Ashby. Man, I swear I think that was one of Mosby's Rangers. And they were active all around this whole area. Maybe a little more north as well, but definitely all around here. I'm gonna have to look that up to make sure. We'll give everybody a little listen to some David Allan Coe. Darling. Let's see. We're at James Madison University, if you're curious. So that means we're in Harrisonburg. 42. We're going to keep going north. Oh, 42 north. 33 east going that way.
think I'll just stay here and pray.
Welcome to Broadway. Oh. I'm gonna get a picture in front of that. In front of that sign. That's an awesome view. You guys probably can't see it, but there's cows all down here, and you got the mountains in the distance. All around. They're all around us, the mountains are right now. Man, that would be some great drone footage. And I could pull right in there and fly the drone. Right here, another good spot. Wow. Now what's going on up here? Now, are they doing license checks here? Now what the hell? This is going to be interesting. Good, good.
Driver's license with you.
That really bothers me.
Where's your inspection sticker?
You said, where is it?
Yeah.
I think the dealership normally puts them on the...
Yeah, it's supposed to be on the fork. I didn't see it though. That's why I'm asking. Let's see here.
Oh, Lord. I bought this used, and I haven't really looked it all over.
I'm just looking it over to make sure I'm not missing it.
I think I haven't had it a year, so I've had it about, I don't know, 3 months.
Let me get you just to pull over here in back of this white, right in front of this white police car here.
Okay.
We'll check and see what the story is on that. I don't see an inspection sticker on this. Well, that's what I was thinking. But This
pull
is
over here,
inspection
we'll go
expert here. He'll be able to find it if it's on there.
Yeah, just pull over there. We'll figure something out.
Over here?
Oh, wait for it.
You cool if I get off?
Yeah, if you don't, yeah, go get off that thing. Let me see if I can find it here. You have the paperwork? Do you have the inspection sheet with it? You think?
Well, let me get this helmet off. I was telling your colleague, I bought this used about 3 months ago,
Oh, okay.
and I haven't, aside from getting it registered and insured, I haven't had it more than 3 months or something. I don't think it's in anything he gave me. I'll double check.
Okay. You should be all right.
He gave me this thing, but I think that's just going to have what I've put in it.
Let me see the registration. Nice bike, man.
And that's just the insurance.
So that's not a huge deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a summons for it. Bring me something you got to get inspected. That's all I want you to do. It's not going to affect your license.
Okay.
It won't be any points in your license for it. All I want you to bring me some proof that you got to take care of. A lot of times you'll dismiss it. You may make the paperwork cost, but they'll dismiss it too.
All right.
Let me do that. You said that's the correct address there still. All right, give me just a second. You can't prepay it too. Like I said, whether you prepay it or not, it doesn't matter. You can just save you a little bit of money. It might be.
I'd have to come back up here.
So it might be worth your while. It's up to you.
Guys, I'm out in the middle of nowhere where they're doing the state police checks for license and state inspection, and I don't have a state inspection, and they're giving me a ticket for it. I'm surprised they're letting me drive the bike away without the state inspection. So they're not even consistently stopping everyone. They just wave through a bunch of cars and they're not checking anything on these cars. Totally inconsistent. Look at this, waving all of these people through, not stopping them at all. They just waved through a bunch of vehicles and didn't inspect anything. So this is a randomly stopping people who are not suspected of committing a crime to ask for a driver's license, and then they're not doing it consistently. Look at that, they're not stopping these vehicles consistently.
So, just to clarify, the reason we're doing this today is for inspection purposes, so we want to make sure that we keep safe vehicles on the road. I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying it's just the purpose of the inspection process. Okay, that's kind of what we're going to do.
Just kind of curious, like why you guys just waved through 20 vehicles and didn't stop any of them?
No, you're wrong about that. We stopped everybody.
I just know. I reported.
No. If they were doing that, they were with other vehicles.
All the way back there?
Yeah.
They were with other police vehicles?
If they were coming through this intersection,
Yes, sir.
they would. Yeah. Let me explain this to me, sir, because you get a little hostile with me.
I'm just asking questions.
Okay. October 1st, Rockingham General District Court, for you to have your vehicle inspected. This is your copy. There's no bottom copy. If you have any questions, okay? Only thing I need from you is your signature at the X. Promise to come forward or prepay the thing. Our purpose is to check every vehicle that comes through this intersection.
I didn't think asking a question about it was being hostile.
No, but you're starting to ask questions about why my vehicle, why another vehicle. That's kind of opinion. So,
I thought you had to have a reason to pull
not
people
for checking details. You can go to there's law that says we can do this with checking details. You can check with it all you want to.
Hey guys, I don't know if you could hear that, but I asked this officer right here why they didn't stop every car, and without seeing any of the action, told me I was being hostile. and that they stopped every car that came through here. Now I'm telling you, cars just came from here and cars came from back there, that they did not stop. Then he told me I was being petty. So, that officer told me when I asked any question about what just happened there, he immediately described me as being hostile just because I asked a question. And then, when I pointed out that they didn't stop everybody, he told me I was being petty. And then when I said, I thought you had to be suspected of a crime to be stopped in this country, he said that I can look it up all I want, but that it's legal to stop in this way to check on safety issues. I am going to research that. See, this is so frustrating. Does that make me like the police anymore? That they're out here in the middle of the country, some 2-lane country road, wasting resources, pulling people over. God, man. Guys, I'm going to tell you, I am so livid about this. I haven't had a ticket for anything since probably my 20s. And when they pulled it up, they saw that I had a clean record. And then when I asked a single question of that officer about why they didn't stop other people that just came through the same intersection, he described me as hostile. And that's what they're going to do in court. They're going to go to court and say that I was hostile. And luckily, I think I had left everything recording. So I'm going to have to look at that when I get home. And I may go to court. I'm going to have to research what the legality of this crap is out here. You try to be friendly and cooperative. Instead of a warning, he sees that I live like 2-3 hours away from here, writes me a stupid ticket. Nobody else is really in jeopardy except me for not getting a state inspection on a motorcycle. I don't understand why there's not an expired state inspection sticker on this thing from the prior owner. I think he had it registered here in Virginia. Yes, I know I should get the state inspection, but I haven't. I do on the vehicles, not on the motorcycles. I just don't think they check them out that detailed anyway. With a single question, one question, how come you guys don't stop everybody consistently going through here? Because I would think to be eligible for that law, whatever he's talking about, it would have to be consistently applied. Now, I don't know if I have the video evidence, but when I was recording, you can't see how far back those cars came from, but there were cars coming from the sides, and the cops were not that far back. And he doesn't know. He's a liar. He is a trained liar. And I am going to look this up. I wish I knew the law better on this. I watch all these videos. And, you know, I'm pro-officer usually. But did that just win friends for the police officer community? We were all going the speed limit. We're all polite. And he's out here giving tickets for state inspection and checking driver's licenses. Out in the middle of nowhere. Really patting themselves on the back. Just, damn, it pisses me off. God. Act like they're really doing God's work out here. Alright guys, I had to pull over and fix my microphone. These cows have definitely noticed me here. I'm going to get up the road here and get off the side of this country road. Hey guys, Rambler Man. I'm going to jump in right here with just a message about this ride. Now, obviously everything you've heard up until now was a little bit out of emotion there at the end of the video. The ride went on for another number of hours, but for some reason, when I pulled over to the side of the road, I lost all the audio of me talking for the rest of the ride. I've had this happen once or twice before, and I'd found kind of a way to confirm everything was working, but apparently it failed me because I stopped a few times and the microphone never started working again until much later into the trip. By the audio not working, what you missed out on was me more just lamenting what happened at that stop. Lots of riders I've talked to online don't get the state inspections on their motorcycles. I don't know that I've met anyone that has said they ever even got a ticket, that they've been pulled over for other things. The officer never brought it up. Basically, what you would have heard me sound like was summed up by kind of like this clip here.
Look at George. He's giving it the T-bone. He's jumping up and down like some kind of monkey.
Shouldn't have said that about your wife. Please accept my apologies.
I did end up stopping for a bite to eat, and when I got off the bike, I realized the audio had not been working. I didn't know for how long. I'm going to play this clip here so you can hear what I had to say. I may end up sharing video in a part 3 of the rest of the ride on Route 42 because it was such a scenic road. In case anybody wanted to ride it, I hit really good stretches of 42 that are pretty good. So I might share that in a part 3 with really just wind and the engine noise. But anyhow, here's how I ended the ride at the Dairy Queen is where I stopped. Now I will just say, after I got home, I researched more online. I showed that screen grab. In order for these things to be legal, they have to have a pre-approved plan, including how it remains neutral. And what I read on a few law firm websites was they either have to commit to check all cars or they do like every third car. I'm like, oh, okay, great. The fact that that officer was so focused on telling me I was wrong that they did check every car when I just do not believe it. I found a court case that said that the only reason they can deviate from the plan is if somebody on site thinks traffic has gotten backed up and they amend it, but it has to remain neutral. That's the only thing they can do in their discretion out there. And I'm not a huge fan of these sort of, whether they're sobriety checkpoints or this stuff. The sobriety checkpoints I've done more research on because they're more common. You would love to say that you just cooperate. But once they've asked you to pull over, everything's on the table, and you never know if you're going to have a good cop or a bad cop. There are bad cops out there. And anyhow, that's why I don't like them. I think in the freedom of moving down the road, you shouldn't be hindered by government employees unless you're actively doing something wrong and being stopped. To check everybody as if we're all potential criminals just really has always bothered me. So let me get to the end of the clip, and we'll end the ride here with a summary of what I said as I got off the bike. Maybe I'll share a part 3 to this one as well. Hey guys, Rambler Man here. I'm stopped at a gas station here on my way home from this trip, and honestly, I don't know if it just captured all the audio I recorded after that police stop. I seem to be really having some equipment issues where the camera is cutting off, both of them, on its own. Sometimes it's user error. Sometimes I think it's like overheating, even though it shouldn't do that. 1,000 thoughts, or maybe 100, were going through my head talking to that police officer. I posed a single question to him, and that gets described as hostile. And you can imagine he would go to court and say, I became hostile, when all I said was, hey, how come you guys aren't stopping everybody equally? But a few things are in my mind going through that moment. Was one, I don't have a state inspection, so they're right. You would hope, in order to foster good relations with the community, they might just give a warning and say, hey, you're only putting yourself in jeopardy on a motorcycle, get the inspection. But nope, give a ticket to a clean driver. When they pulled me up, everything else was in order. Yeah, you can see it's a newer bike. It's not like it's 30-year-old bike in disrepair. But then the other thing on my mind is, you know, right under my jacket is I'm wearing a firearm. And you have no idea how some lunatic cop is going to act if they see the imprint or if I unzip to get something out of my pocket. So I'm always sensitive about that. We have no duty to disclose that here in Virginia, that we do have a gun on us. And they know you have a concealed carry permit when they run your license. Then the other thing on my mind was, I don't know if they could have legally said, well, you can't drive this car legally on the road because it doesn't have the state inspection, or this bike, I mean. And I'm like 2.5 hours away from home. And I could see going into Labor Day weekend, them telling me that I would have to have it towed and inspected to get it back on the road if I cranked up the jerk factor. So there was no good going to come out on that site. I can tell you this, I'm going to research the law a little better and be prepared. All the checks I have seen have been sobriety checks. You're under no duty to do their silly human tricks on the side of the road. You don't have to answer any questions about where you're coming from. I have not seen any videos for what I just went through, a license and state inspection check. And I know on my footage, I have got myself riding that same road for the previous hour and a half before that stop. There were no other police officers, and they were rolling cars through there without looking. And I'm going to check what the law says if they have to check everybody equally, because they didn't. All right, I'm going to get in here and get a refreshment and calm down for the rest of the ride home. This is Ramble Man, and I'll see you on the road.